There is a quiet warning whispered among the old fishing villages scattered across the islands of Japan's Seto Inland Sea, a caution about the restless spirits that linger where land meets water, where mist drifts low among ancient trees. Travelers who once crossed these shores spoke of shadowy figures seen just beyond the path's edge, fleeting glimpses of yokai, said to guard the forests and the sea alike. These islands hold secrets woven deep into their rugged coasts and quiet groves, places where the ordinary world softens and the mysterious begins. Along the serene stretch known today as the Shimanami Kaido, a cycling route famed for its tranquil beauty, there lives a hidden undercurrent of folklore, echoing with the voices of forgotten spirits and old warnings that still linger in the air. The Shimanami Kaido links a series of islands between Japan's main island of Honshu and Shikoku, spanning over 70 kilometers of roads, bridges, and narrow lanes. To the casual observer, it is a haven of calm. Bicycles glide along quiet paths framed by the gentle sea, and distant waves lap peacefully against the shore. Yet beneath this surface of calm, the place carries legends older than the route's modern infrastructure. Local tales speak of Tengu lurking in mountain forests, their sharp eyes watching travelers who venture too far from the main path. Sea spirits, or yumabozu, are said to rise from the misty waters to conceal or mislead those who journey alone near the water's edge. Some islands are said to be cursed grounds where the cries of Uriai, restless spirits bound by sorrow, echo on windless nights. Long ago, before the Shimanami Kaido was built, these islands were connected only by boat or by perilous footpaths winding through dense woodland and unstable cliffs. Villagers would issue stern warnings to outsiders, especially those traveling after dusk, not to stray from known routes. One common admonition cautioned against crossing certain bridges after dark, for they were believed to be haunted by Akirio, living spirits that could latch on unsuspecting travelers, bringing misfortune. At the same time, fox spirits, or kitsune, were often blamed for leading people astray, their flickering lantern lights flicking just beyond the line of sight, guiding them away from safety. Many of these stories blend with practical wisdom, warnings born from the dangers of the land and sea, woven together with the deep cultural belief in invisible forces that govern the natural world. The dense coastal forests and silent groves became more than just places for quiet reflection. They became thresholds to another realm, where the balance of respect and fear shaped how people lived and moved. The belief was not proof of actual curses or monsters, but it shaped how the communities guarded their homes and viewed travelers who passed through. Even today, those cycling across the Shimanami Kaido might find the air feels different as the day fades, a stillness that invites quiet thought. Locals sometimes speak quietly of odd shadows glimpsed beneath bridges, or a sudden chill where the sea breeze stirs the trees. Nestled among the islands of the Seto Inland Sea, these small communities have long depended on the sea's bounty and the land's quiet generosity to survive. Fishing and farming shaped daily life, where generations lived alongside natural rhythms that seemed both vital and fragile. The island's isolation cultivated a deep sense of reverence toward the forces believed to govern life beyond human control. Ancient deities, protective kami, and elusive spirits said to inhabit the waters, forests, and mountains. Scattered along these shores are countless small shrines, often tucked away amid moss-covered stones or near gnarled trees. Many are dedicated to kami connected to local landscapes or specific aspects of nature. Spirits who were thought to safeguard fishermen from drowning, to protect crops, or to watch over travelers as they cross precarious paths. Among these, the kappa, water yokai known for their mischievous yet sometimes dangerous nature, feature prominently in local lore. Fishermen told of cautious respect when crossing secluded rivers or tidal inlets, wary of a sudden splash or ripple that might mark a kappa's unseen presence beneath the surface. Mountain gods were also honored, their shrines marking boundaries where forest met field, guarding against illness or bad fortune. Folklore passed along by villagers often speaks of eerie encounters near bridges and tunnels, places where land and sea intersect and human boundaries blur. These slender bridges and darkened tunnels, resting between cliffs and water, were the settings for stories of ghostly sightings and unexplained disappearances. Some versions of these tales describe shadowy figures glimpsed in the mist, or voices carried on the wind that seemed to call travelers deeper into the woods, away from safety. Others tell of travelers who vanished without a trace after crossing certain bridges, believed to have been taken by unseen spirits or yokai guarding hidden realms. Such stories were never seen as mere fabrications, but as warnings from the community embedded in shared memory. One persistent belief was that these spirits were not malevolent in the simple sense, but protective, jealous guardians of sacred ground, or custodians balancing the seen and unseen worlds. Fishermen setting out at dawn recounted moments when the sea suddenly grew still, the air thick with an otherworldly hush, sensing the presence of Yumabozu, the sea ghost said to appear on misty mornings to warn or disorient those out at sea. Many local elders recall these moments as part of the island's living folklore, blending respect with a subtle caution. When modern infrastructure began to reshape the islands, building bridges and tunnels that connected islands once isolated, these old tales did not vanish. Instead, they wove into the new landscape, quietly coloring how people related to these transformed spaces. Even as the Shimanami Kaido brought easier passage and new visitors, local stories continue to circulate, tales of fleeting shadows beneath bridges or unexplained cold spots in tunnels that made some riders pause or slow their pace. The fabric of these beliefs suggests a place where the border between this world and the next remains thin, where ancient guardians watch quietly over the changing tides of history and human movement. Even as the modern Shimanami Kaido has transformed these islands into a seamless chain of accessibility, the old beliefs and whispered stories have not faded into mere superstition. Instead, they continue to shape how locals understand their landscape, blending tangible paths with invisible boundaries that mark the edge of the everyday and the supernatural. The presence of yokai and spirits in these stories reveals more than fanciful legend. They express a cultural awareness rooted in the perception of the islands as liminal places, thresholds between worlds. This enduring spiritual geography encourages caution and respect, a subtle awareness that the land itself holds memory and power beyond human control. Local legend says that when the sea fog drifts in thick and the wind falls silent, the veil between this world and the realm of spirits grows thin. In these moments, travelers might feel the gaze of Tengu watching silently from the forest canopy, or catch the faintest whisper of a kitsune's laugh carried on the breeze. These sensations are not always frightening. They often carry a tone of solemn warning, urging mindfulness rather than fear. Such beliefs serve as a cultural safeguard, a way for communities to maintain a delicate balance with the unpredictable natural forces that surround them. The island's shrines, often small and unassuming, continue to be places where people quietly offer respect, not just to kami, but to the spirits bound by place and story, the hidden custodians of a land. Visitors passing through may sense a lingering stillness, an atmosphere thick with unseen presence that lingers even after the sun has set and the last cyclists have crossed the bridge. The Shimanami Kaido, though paved and brightened for modern travelers, still holds its secrets beneath concrete and steel. The tunnels that curve beneath the hills and the bridges arching over the sea remain spaces where folklore softly breathes. Some locals admit to occasional experiences of inexplicable chills or fleeting shadows disappearing just at the edge of sight, phenomena the rational mind might dismiss, but the heart remembers as evidence of something unseen. This subtle persistence of the supernatural is not rare in Japan's rural places, where the boundary between the material and spiritual is often understood as flexible rather than fixed. The continued telling of these tales allows island communities to preserve their identity, a way to honor ancestors, remember hardships, and convey lessons through metaphorical language. It binds people not only to the physical islands, but to a shared sense of belonging that transcends generations. While the Shimanami Kaido connects the islands physically, it also serves as an informal path tracing the outline of a hidden world. The spirits of water and forest, the forgotten ones whispered about under breath, remain quietly present, like shadows lengthening as twilight deepens. They wait, not with menace, but with the patience of the enduring land itself, reminding each traveler that beneath even the most traveled road lies a realm where the unseen still roams, waiting to be remembered once more.